All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second weekly Run Button Morning Show. It will be weekly for as long as we do it in a row every week. My name is Keith Carberry, and I'm here with Kylie Churchill. Hi, Kylie. How are you this morning?
Hi, I'm great on this Tuesday morning, the morning of the week when the show always happens. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I feel much better this morning than I did last morning. I got a regular night's sleep last night, pretty much. Last week, I was on some horrible 3 hours of sleep shit because I was kind of sick the night before.
Good point. I actually lied just now when I said I was great. See, I'm on that right now. I had a bad night.
Why'd you have a bad night?
Because I've been sleeping worse, but also I had been quarantined from my daughter for a few weeks because I went to PAX East and then got sick after PAX East. But yesterday was my first day with my daughter, so I was tired all night, and then I slept on a couch, which wasn't fun.
Okay, bummer. I thought it was like you spent time with your daughter and you were like, quarantine was better.
Quarantine is certainly less work.
Yeah. Children are a lot of work.
They are. Hey, can I ask, what is this strange hybrid monstrosity background that you've made of both of our logo backgrounds?
Well, so I can actually show you why I did this. And
why do you do this?
Well, so I had just our regular logo up there, and I was struck by the bareness of having the square logo with black background. And I was like, well, there's no time for me to make a background, color match the sort of beige, like the off-white, and make a tile and put that behind our usual logo. And then I was like, oh, what if we do a thing where we've got like one logo on top of the other? And so I can show you what that looked like there. And you can see that there's like lines, which really help it pop, but don't look good with the thing in the background. And I was like, don't we have...
I think it looks fine.
You think that looks fine?
Yeah, I think it looks better.
You think it looks better than that?
Yeah, the other thing's too busy.
It is busy.
We do remember we have that tile background that's the word run button over and over.
Yeah, we do have that.
So that could go good with the big logo, like big logo in the middle, sidebar with the words.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I think maybe ideally just color match the background and get rid of those little bars and then have sort of one big. Anyway, that's enough logo talk.
Yeah. Thanks for segment 1, logo talk. Done. Check it off. We got it.
We're going to do that every week. That's going to be recurring. Kylie, you said you had some video games that you have been playing.
I will tell you. Why don't you tell me about what video games you've been playing while I type in "we're live" on Twitter?
Well, I don't think the video games that I've been playing have been particularly important. But what I have been doing that I want to talk about is I've been watching Dragon Ball.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, just original.
So here's what happened, and this is sort of. I feel like I was sort of. It was sort of a catch-22 for me because I've been playing, or I haven't been playing. But when I was playing Dragon Ball Fighter Z before we went to the content cabin, I was like playing Dragon Ball Fighter Z and having a really good time and being like, Dragon Ball is fucking sick. Dragon Ball's the sickest shit. I should watch Dragon Ball Super finally.
Yeah.
But then what happened was I was like, but I can't watch Dragon Ball Super
until you re-experience the whole saga.
Well, I was like, well, Isaac will probably watch it with me, and he has no idea what the fuck is going on. I can't make someone watch Dragon Ball Super with zero context.
No.
And then I was like, we should watch Dragon Ball Z.
Though?
What's that?
Could I argue? I would argue that a generation of Americans would tell you that you can jump someone in at episode 1 of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, but then I was like, but what about Dragon Ball?
But what about
Dragon Ball?
You know what we need? We need a Dragon Ball Kai.
Yes.
Because
boy, do we.
Boy, do we. Like, I know some people love the Dragon Ball anime. I didn't like it when I was a kid when it was on Toonami because I thought there was way too much boring filler. I read the manga a few years ago and liked the manga.
There's actually not that much filler. Dragon Ball is like 10 or 12, like 15% filler. There's not that much.
That's so surprising. Like, specifically, I remember like there's that one stupid gag where like Bulma ends up in like the Playboy bunny outfit, and I
Yeah.
remember like that being a chapter in the manga and it being like a month of episodes of the anime or something.
Yeah, yeah. She just like wore that for like 3 full episodes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought it was like way more than that.
No, it was like 3. I have now watched about
Okay. Which
30 episodes of Dragon Ball. And here's the
okay.
thing. We need
Wait,
Dragon
real
Ball
quick
Z.
though, for context, I'm talking about 5 days a week airing. So when 3 episodes means 3 days, and then it was done. So I don't know how that exploded in my child's memory.
Oh,
But
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't that. I mean, Dragon Ball is cuz I remember Dragon Ball. I remember loving Dragon Ball.
mhm.
But I don't remember like what happens in it mostly. Like I remember the
Oh,
broad
okay.
story beats, but I remember
Right.
specific things about Dragon Ball Z because I was a little bit older when I watched most of it, and I've seen
Really?
it more times. But
Even though it aired second or
even though it
first, I
aired
mean.
second, yeah. So I for most of my childhood I watched them both together, but then I've rewatched parts of Dragon Ball Z, and so I remember it more. But Dragon Ball is so horny and bad. It's like
Oh, yeah.
really gross. And Dragon Ball Z is if anything it's homoerotic obviously, but it's mostly totally asexual as a show.
Well, here's the thing. They cut a lot of that stuff out of the American airing of that show,
Yeah.
and cut it out of the Kai because it was mostly in the anime. The manga starts out very horny for a few chapters because Akira Toriyama was young and horny, and then once it kind of settled into being more of a martial arts manga than a
He realized what
comedy
he
manga.
liked was big muscled men not having
Right, yeah.
sex
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I mean,
not
there's
really even
totally
understanding what it is.
there's topless Bulma in the first volume of Dragon Ball, there is topless Bulma.
In the show, topless Bulma happens like 4 times in the first 30 episodes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And like going into it, I was like, Master Roshi's going to be the worst pervert you've ever seen,
Mhm.
and it still was worse than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
It's really, really bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I got the sanitized Toonami version, but I think I've seen like I saw clips of like the uncensored parts, and it was just like fucking yikes.
yeah, it's really bad. You know,
He makes her lift up her dress when she's not wearing underwear, right?
yeah.
That's like a favor.
So what happens is Goku gets the flying Nimbus as a gift for helping the turtle, and then Bulma is like,
Mhm.
"What? I don't get a gift?" And the turtle's like, "She didn't help. She told Goku not to help me." And so Master Roshi was like, "I'm gonna agree with the
Fair.
turtle. I'm not giving you a gift."
Fair.
And she's like, "What do I have to do to get a gift?" And he was like, "How about you lift up your skirt?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Am I really gonna do this?" And then she immediately does it, and she does it like 3 or 4 times, and you see her ass. And so she's
Right.
implying that she's not wearing underwear, and then later you find out that she didn't know that she didn't have underwear on.
Oh, right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
I
Oh, I remember so they definitely sanitized that like visual. Like you didn't see her butt in the Toonami airing,
yeah.
but they also changed it to "I will help you if you show me your belly button." And so she lifts up her shirt and shows him her belly button. But still, like even
Uh,
like for TV for kids cartoons at the time, that was still really racy for
Yeah.
America of
well,
that era.
but the other thing is that makes it seem more like a trick. Like you're wearing a dress, but I want to see your belly button. Like that's I don't know. At least in the horrific uncensored version, he's being honest about what he wants to see.
Oh no, it never came off as a trick to me. It came off as like very very sanitized perviness.
Oh well, I don't think I don't think when I was a kid watching this, I would have picked up on what was being sanitized.
Oh, I don't mean I just mean like light horniness.
Right. But I don't know if I could have conceptualized. Oh, this is horny. When I was
Okay,
9.
yeah. I think I was because it was I think it was 2002 that it aired, so I was 12. Yeah, so I was just like, "Oh, Master Roshi's a grosso. He wants to see a girl's belly button."
Um, but I have to say, you know, heaping spoonful of salt, Dragon Ball is fucking sick. I really like Dragon Ball a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
Like there's just this thing about Goku who, like, when I think about Goku as a Dragon Ball Z character, I'm like, this guy's he's boring, he's stupid, he has one mode, but there's something really there's something really endearing about, oh, he's been this way his whole life. He's a little weirdo who grew up in the
Yes.
woods and never met anyone except his grandfather, and he's
Yep.
never changed.
He's just like that.
He's just like that. I don't know what the fuck his Grandpa Gohan did to make him
Well-
like that.
well,
Maybe
no,
it's
we
just
do
that he
know,
grew up in the
remember?
woods.
He hit his head.
He hit his head. What do you mean he hit his head? Oh,
Remember-
when he crashed onto Earth.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
don't
think
know.
I think it was like well, yeah, it's like I think later it kind of gets retconned to like, yeah, in the crash he got hurt, but I think early in Dragon Ball he's just like, one day my grandpa dropped me on my head. Like I think he like dropped him into a ravine and he landed on his head.
But we know Goku and know that dropping him on his head wouldn't do much.
That's true. Maybe he just had the heart of a champion, the heart to resist the Saiyan programming.
No, I just think. Oh, I guess the programming. Well, I think maybe the head injury explains the programming, but growing up with a weird old man who is trained by Master Roshi in the woods explains the rest of it.
Oh,
I'm talking about his.
Gohan was trained by Roshi?
Yeah, Gohan was Roshi's one of his star pupils.
I didn't know that.
Gohan and the Ox King trained together with Roshi.
Okay, wow. Everybody know each other.
Yes, yeah, that's part of why Master Roshi agreed to teach Goku after retiring from being a teacher, was because he learned that Goku was Gohan's grandson.
I had a very brief run-in with Dragon Ball Z this week. On YouTube, I saw a video clip called Dragon Ball Z Chris Sabat versus Chris Sabat versus Chris Sabat armor
I also saw
scene.
that.
That's funny. Yeah, so the three different versions of that armor scene with Krillin and Gohan and Vegeta in the Namek saga. And the evolution of Chris Sabat doing Vegeta. I didn't realize the original, like, kind of weird, wispy voiced Vegeta was Chris Sabat. I thought it was somebody else.
Well, there was an original Vegeta who was voiced by someone else, and that original Chris Sabat was trying to do that other guy whose name I can't remember. For some reason I'm hearing like in my head it's like Drummel or something. Like I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But it was like some other dub, Ocean, like the Ocean dub or something.
Dub. Yeah, the Ocean dub. Yeah.
So the Ocean dub Vegeta is kind of similar to that. And by the way, is awesome. That guy does a genuinely, I swear to God, that guy does a genuinely phenomenal job with Vegeta. I'm not kidding.
Okay. Hello?
Are you answering a phone call?
Hello? No.
No?
Hi.
Hi, what's up?
I couldn't, you cut out and I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Ocean dub guy does a genuinely phenomenal. Brian Drummond, that's his name.
Okay, I have to go look at that because I was just very surprised. I thought for sure Chris Sabat had only done 2 versions of Vegeta. I didn't know there was a third one. I was very surprised.
There's like, yeah, it's Funimation and then the remastered Funimation and then Kai. Is that the third one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know about the remastered Funimation.
Mm.
It was interesting to hear the translation differences.
Yes, the first 2 are almost word for word, and then the third one is like fully rewritten.
Yeah, I think what was it there? It's like the very tag at the end where he like explains that the armor is really stretchy, and then Krillin asks him, "Oh, are the gloves and the boots the same material?" And the best I can guess is like maybe the Japanese is some version of like duh or something like that. Like he's mad and he thinks it's obvious, but I guess maybe they were unsure of how to translate it. So I love that the remastered Funimation, it's just like, I guess these boots and gloves are the same material, huh, Vegeta? And there's just a pause. He goes, shut up.
Yeah, I'm
But then in
trying
Kai,
to
he goes,
remember.
of course.
I'm trying to remember which is the first one I saw. I'm pretty sure it was the original Sabat.
I think I must have gotten the remastered one because I don't remember ever hearing I think of it as like Snake Vegeta. It's very much like a yes.
But that's the
Like,
one that I remember as a kid. Like when
mm.
when Vegeta lands and it's Vegeta and Nappa, like that's who I remember is the Snake
Well,
Vegeta.
I mean, you might have gotten the Ocean dub.
But we were
before it
both
was on
watching. No,
Toonami.
it definitely was an Ocean dub. It was definitely not because when I learned about it and watched a video of Brian Drummond doing like some of Vegeta's big scenes from
okay.
like Namek Saga shit. I was like, this is really good. I've never heard this before, but it's really good. I think it was the original Funimation dub, but we would have watched the same one. You and I would have been watching it on Toonami together.
I imagine that we would have, yeah. But I know that I missed the Saiyan saga. I like came in,
it?
or I don't know. I don't know how it went, but
Yeah.
I definitely I've never watched the Saiyan saga start to finish. I should check in on that Ocean dub. What's going on in that Ocean dub?
I don't know. My impression is that it's generally worse, but Brian Drummond did a really good job with Vegeta.
I mean,
like sort of like a sniveling.
I'm currently 3/4 of the way through the Big Green dub, so I am trying to finish that one off.
Are you really watching the whole Big Green dub?
No, I think it's only the movies, remember? Because we
Oh, right,
watched
yeah.
a best of the Big Green dub, and it was only the movies.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's all that I think that's all that I have for Dragon Ball news. If you can put up with its overwhelming and criminal perversion, really, Master Roshi is committing sex crimes in the show. Yeah, I mean, totally. Is like, trying to grab people when they're not looking and when they're sleeping. It's really bad.
It's so bad.
But if you have seen enough anime where you're like, well, of course that's what is happening in early Dragon Ball. There's some really good stuff there. I think it really captures the like kid going on an adventure and just like finding different stuff and seeing new things in new places vibe. You get in
the manga, the tournaments, the repeated tournaments wore thin.
I'm such a sucker for the tournaments. I can't.
They are good. I remember as a kid watching Dragon Ball Z and being like, how come they never do tournaments? And then when I read the Dragon Ball manga, it was like, oh, it was because they did 800 in Dragon Ball and everyone got sick of it.
The second arc in Dragon Ball is the first tournament arc. And it's got that same announcer who's really good.
I love that announcer.
I was like, look out for this guy.
Are you watching an English dub?
Yes.
Okay.
I really like the English dub of all the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z stuff.
It's good.
It's really good. It's not great, but there's something about it that I can't separate from the show.
And it's nostalgic.
It's nostalgic, and I understand when people prefer the sub for Dragon Ball, or Dragon Ball Z, but it doesn't feel the same for me because I didn't grow up with it.
Yeah, and we don't have to relitigate my feelings about anime dubs versus subs. Nobody wants to hear that shit.
No. Nope, you're right. No one does. What was your thing?
Nope. My thing is, the whole thing about for me personally, my brain has a really tough time with subtitles, especially.
Oh no, not this. I mean, you can explain it if you want.
I can't look away from the screen. It feels like I'm in a Clockwork Orange with my eyes pried open.
Yeah.
But just the thing about how people always say that the voice acting is always better in Japanese dubs, and I just argue that as non-native Japanese speakers, they aren't good at telling when Japanese actors are good or not.
Right. Oh yeah, you're totally right. I think
you have to be whether you fluent in a language to know if acting is good or not.
I think whether you prefer subs or dubs, I think that is totally right. You don't know. You don't speak Japanese. You don't know how good the acting is. You just don't. You
do know if you like the sound of it, but that's not the same thing.
But when you when you don't speak the language, you literally don't have the capacity to be like, no, they're really overacting in this one, which is the exact thing that people don't like about dubs is like weird overacting. And it's like, but
really?
you just can't tell. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the. I don't think that people's problem with dubs are listless performances. I think it's
also
like, why is
English
this guy
dubs
emoting
used
so
to be
much?
much worse.
Yeah. I think that's the pro sub argument is that there's more money behind the original production, and so that they do a better job getting.
Yeah,
good
exactly. And
performances.
also it was like back in the 90s, there wasn't any history of like how to do good sounding English dubs of anime. Like, all the like cartoon voicing, in America had been like Saturday morning cartoons and shit.
Yeah.
There was a much higher emphasis placed upon how many different voices can you do versus how good are the voices.
Right.
Because they would just want to pay one actor to
Yeah.
voice like 12 characters.
Oh, you know who's got the worst voice in Dragon Ball? Poir.
Oh, you don't like Poir?
No, I think you're doing Oolong.
Oh, that's Oolong, sorry.
Poir is the cat
It's
who's
hey, I'm like this.
Yeah, it is like it's so high pitched that I basically cannot understand what Poir is saying. Basically the only thing that comes across is that Poir is in love with Yamcha.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Poir!
Did you not? Oh, did you not know?
I think I didn't have the life experience to really pick up on that the first time.
It was like, so there's a part in the midway, excuse me. There's a part midway through the second arc where they've arrived at the tournament. It's the day before tournament day, and Yamcha has been in the woods training. Bulma's all mad because Yamcha left for a month and didn't send her flowers while he was away.
Girls just don't understand fight needs. Men have fight needs.
Well, that's what Poir's saying. Poir was like, he's wanted this for his entire life. And so
you don't understand him like I do.
So Bulma walks into the middle of the street to pick up an orange that she dropped and almost gets hit by a truck, and Yamcha saves her, and she's like, oh my god, it's you, Yamcha, I can't believe it's you. Oh, also, she didn't recognize him at first because he had slightly longer hair. She didn't recognize him at first, and then Poir interrupted them reconnecting to reconnect, and he was like, oh, Poir, how have you been? And he was like, without you, it's like a beach without a sun. Life is like a beach without a sun. Anyway, that's Dragon Ball. What was your game that you've been playing that you thought we should talk about a little bit?
Oh, well, I didn't know if there's any we should talk about. I've just meant I could just tell you what I have been playing. I've been playing Stardew Valley. Been playing Divinity Original Sin 2.
How's that?
I just tried Murder by Numbers last night.
Murders by Number.
Murder by Numbers is a Picross visual novel. I'm very early. It seems super duper good. I'm really excited about it.
That's cool.
That's all I have.
Is it a play on Paint by Numbers? Is that the pun there? Is that the?
I think it's. I think it's a play on. Aren't like often Murder by Numbers. Isn't that something like a way? Isn't that sort of like a derisive way to talk about like a murder mystery novel plot or something like that?
I've never heard that. The only thing that I think of when I hear Murder by Numbers is Paint by Numbers, which is when you fill in. It's basically a coloring book where you fill in with the right color what the number is. But if something is by the numbers, then that means that it's rote.
Yeah, I see. There was a movie called Murder by Numbers. In 2002, but
I've never heard that phrase before. You like that? Do you like that?
The Murder by Numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems really good. The story seems good. The writing seems good.
What kind of visual novel is it? Is it a follow along with the story, or is it like a sort of choose your own adventure?
It seems more like a follow along with the story kind of thing
That's
so
fine.
far. It stars. It's kind of interesting. You play as this woman of color. I don't really know what her like ethnicity is, but she plays the seems like the bumbling sidekick to like a white girl who is the star of a detective show, and then she starts by getting fired from the show to be replaced by a talking poodle, and then like a talking computer finds her, and then her old showrunner gets murdered, and now she's a suspect, and
Oh,
this
okay.
robot's trying to help
There's a
her.
show within the game.
It's a show within the
I
game. Yeah,
understand
it's
now.
like she's a TV detective. Now she's going to be a
Okay.
real detective. Also, there's Picross.
I thought what you were saying was that you play someone who is narratively a sidekick, but she's not
No.
narratively a sidekick. She was narratively a sidekick in a show within the game world and then was
Yes.
fired. Got it.
Yes, that is the irony. She is the sidekick of a detective show, but she is the actual star of this detective game
And
story.
and she has to prove her own innocence.
At this point, yes, but I know that there are multiple cases, so I think it's like
Okay.
it seems I really don't know how this is going to come together, but it seems like her and a bunch of other crew members from the show, including the woman who is the star of the show, somehow become a group of detectives with an actual senior
Detective agency?
detective. Like I don't know how they form a mystery machine squad with an actual police detective, but I guess it happens. Also, there's a robot.
Nice. Like a good robot. Is
Yeah, love.
is it like near futuristic? Is there a robot
Um,
because it is in the future?
actually, it very pointedly takes place in the 90s.
Oh, okay. Oh, it
There's
was
a lot of
during
like,
the AI boom in the 90s
yep,
when there
a
was a
lot of
little bit.
references to Usenet. Like, hey, Keith,
Oh, I saw a
2020,
picture. I saw
2020.
you tweeting a picture of this.
This is year one of the 10-year long 30-year nostalgia cycle for the 90s. Get ready for it, everybody. Strap in. Here we go. You had
Oh,
10 years of getting sick to death of Ghostbusters references. Now we're moving on to Complam and Salute Your Shorts.
no, you're wrong. We're in like year 3 of 90s nostalgia.
Well, the 90s nostalgia is weird because you're right. It did start earlier than the 80s somehow. Or it started
Wow, the
less than
80s
30
nostalgia
years.
was still
Where
going
we
on.
But I've noticed in the past 6 months the 90s nostalgia, it's kicking into overdrive. It's happening.
It's no, you're saying 90s nostalgia is about to go mainstream in a big way.
Um yes.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
moving from it is done incubating in
Mhm.
it's done incubating in the Twitter mind.
Yeah, it's done incubating on 90s Twitter, on
Yeah.
millennial Twitter, and it's ready to go stratospheric.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
that's a bummer. Everyone get ready.
you know
I guess
what?
I'm
Listen.
the one about to watch Dragon Ball Z, but
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm ready to be the one being pandered to by all this stupid ass nostalgia. I had to sit by and watch everyone think that Stranger Things was something worth talking about.
Stranger Things was always fine until it had
I'm
a second and then a third season where
it was always fine for the first season.
for the first
I
season
watched,
it was
like,
always fine.
I have to say, I didn't. This sounds weird. I didn't watch Stranger Things long enough to dislike it. I watched like one episode and went, "I'll watch the next episode soon," and then didn't because I didn't care.
I think that Stranger Things is totally fine to watch. I don't think there's any problem with watching that. It's a
I'm
fine
sure.
way to spend 3 hours. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's,
I
think
have
that's about how long it
nothing
is.
against Stranger Things, but the moment when I knew I didn't need to go back to it because it wasn't for me was when I saw like I think it was the season 2 poster or something that was all the kids dressed as Ghostbusters and went like, "Oh right, this is not for me. I'm not the target. Someone else
Yeah.
can have
I don't
their
know.
kids dressed as
This is the
Ghostbusters thing."
second time you've mentioned Ghostbusters as a thing for people of another generation from you,
Yeah.
which is weird because it technically wasn't was that like 83 or something, which
Yeah, I
is before
wasn't
you were
born.
born, and that's before
Yeah.
I was born. But like, I grew up watching Ghostbusters
Me too.
too.
I mean, I love the movie Ghostbusters, and I watched it as a kid and enjoyed it quite a bit. But I didn't live through a wave of like you know how everyone still likes Pokemon, but it was like we lived through that initial like Pokemania wave in the late 90s. Like that
Sure.
happened for Ghostbusters, but we just weren't alive for it.
Yeah.
And so it's like my feelings on Ghostbusters is like, yeah, that's a great movie for kids. But some people just think like Ghostbusters is life, or at least they convinced themselves during the 30-year nostalgia wave for the 80s.
I guess I don't know. Maybe I have a different perspective on this because I grew up on 80s comedies. Like
Oh,
all
did
of the
you?
all of that era's movie, like the Bill Murray movies and his
Mhm.
ilk. I grew up on those because my mom would take us to Blockbuster twice a week and we would rent movies. And
I rented a lot of movies, yeah.
and most of them were those movies. We mostly
Hmm.
watched movies from the 80s for some
Platoon.
reason. So like I
Wait,
grew up
Stripes.
with the and that's why I feel I have such a kinship with the type of 80s comedy where it's like this is a comedy because we've cast the people that we know are in
Mhm,
comedies,
yeah.
whether or not it has any jokes in it.
Medium attractive, snarky, funny white guy gets
I would say even less than medium attractive. I think 80s comedies are typified by
Yeah.
Bill Murray types being somehow the so charismatic that they are also romantic leads somehow.
Yes. Bill Murray originally positively described as Gutenberg-esque. No, that's not true.
But yeah, like for like the ultimate of these, the epitome of the 80s
Steve
comedy.
Gutenberg.
What's that?
I thought. Well, I mean, I think the epitome of the not attractive, snarky white guy comedian movie star is.
You're breaking up real bad. I can't hear you.
Oh no! Am I?
Who
back?
is it? Say it again.
Steve Gutenberg.
Steve Gutenberg. Oh, I think it's Bill Murray. I think Bill Murray is
Bill
the
Murray
guy
was
who is
the good one.
well. He's
I just-
good at
Steve
acting.
Gutenberg, I feel like, is more the epitome because he never had any roles that weren't that thing. Like his career stopped after that.
I guess it's tough. I've never seen a movie with Steve Gutenberg in it. Really,
Oh,
I've seen
okay.
Veronica Mars season 2, and he's in that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
So
That was
I've never
eight.
seen what 3 Men and a Baby. Is that him?
Three Men and a Baby,
I've
the
never seen
Police
that.
Academy movies,
Oh, I've seen Police Academy. I guess it just never.
Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol, the best Police Academy movie.
Oh, I've only seen Police Academy 1. Is he in Police Academy 1?
I'm sure. Probably.
Are you
Unless it was one of those
Police
things.
Academy 4 is the best one? That seems really wrong. I mean, I haven't seen it. You could be right.
You know what? I think it's one of those things. It might have been the only one I saw, but I liked it, and then later heard other people say that's the best
Yeah.
one.
Okay, well, I'm going to go back to what I was going to say before you said Steve Gutenberg.
Steve Gutenberg.
I think the epitome of these of the 80s comedy is Fletch.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that.
Fletch. So for me, the 80s comedy aesthetic is like it's sitcom. It's I think we think of sitcoms like in terms of shows where it's like, well, you reset at the end and then there's some sort of problem and then know the comedy comes from, it's usually farcical and it comes from whatever problem of the week it is, and the different characters have to solve their different weird problems, and there's some sort of big misunderstanding, and then everything resets and you have to do the whole thing again next week. But the other thing for me that a sitcom is like there's just a premise that drives the whole thing. There's nothing besides premise and the way you feel about the actor.
Sure,
and
yeah,
80s comedies do, and then so Fletch is like, it's called a comedy. I guess I don't know what else it would be.
Isn't it just like Chevy Chase being a dingus and kind of mugging for 90 minutes?
Yeah, that's basically it. He plays an
Yeah.
investigative journalist who's trying to solve, trying to finish a case that he's not supposed to be working on.
Gotcha.
I actually can't remember what the case is, which is weird because I've seen the movie like 4 times, and I don't love the movie, but there's something just so essential about it in terms of
Wow.
like it's a comedy. It has no jokes. There's no jokes in it.
This is Keith's ideal movie. The less jokes, the better.
I think like Groundhog Day is like this. Like Ghostbusters is a comedy, but it's also like a genre movie. Like it's also like this weird like ghost sci-fi thing.
You know what? Maybe this is part of it. This is definitely a thing with Ghostbusters. Is like the thing about Bill Murray's character in Ghostbusters is usually in comedies the characters aren't funny. The comedy comes from what happens to them.
Right.
Like Ghostbusters is a
Doesn't mean
serious
sitcom.
movie where the characters make jokes.
Yeah. Wait, sorry. What is where the characters make jokes?
Ghostbusters is like instead of a comedy, it's a comedy because funny things are happening. It's like it's a serious movie where the characters make jokes. It's almost different.
I guess that's what I'm talking about. It's not really the characters making jokes. They're just like bantering, kind of.
Right.
They're just like being charming or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're not writing. They're not saying jokes in the way that we think about jokes in 2020.
Yeah. I feel like there's room for this to come back. I feel like comedy has really swung in a certain direction. Maybe that
agree.
pendulum's ready to go back.
I think that like the 80s situation comedy movie is something that could happen again. I'm trying to think if there's anything recently. Well, we just don't have that sort of like cast of characters, and I'm talking about real people like Chevy Chase and Bill Murray. They don't really exist anymore.
I mean, I think that's what they tried to do with the rebooted Ghostbusters, and I actually liked that movie. I didn't hate it. I wasn't like over the top about it, but people really disliked it.
I never saw it.
I thought it was good.
Well, there's two kinds of people that disliked it. I think.
Yeah, I feel like the backlash to that movie, even ignoring the obvious, like, just ridiculous sexism of it all, I think a lot of people were just holding up the original on too high of a pedestal. Honestly,
I do love the original Ghostbusters, so it's hard.
It's good. I love it. I would also say I would have said I loved that movie. Then the past 10 years taught me, some people love it a different way.
Yeah, they fuck a DVD of it.
They like it.
There's definitely like there's this older, and I'm about to generalize, and I think that it's fine if someone is mad at me for generalizing this way.
It's okay. I give you permission.
I think there's like this older sort of nerd, this sort of like interested in science, or like old school curious about or played as a kid old school D&D, loves Ghostbusters and facts, that for a brief period, and those people are doing fine. These are the people who still make like $120,000 a year.
They haven't been persecuted.
But they, for a while, culturally, like from like 2008 to like 2012, it felt like they held the galaxy by the throat in terms of controlling culture. Like for a brief period, this specific kind of 80s nerd was the king of culture. And I think that they are now totally irrelevant. I'm thinking of like the Penny Arcade kind of nerd.
I agree. I just think that's basically what I'm talking about. I mean, that's a slice of that 80s nostalgia wave I was talking about. I would say that was the whole 2010s rather than 2008 sounds early to me. I think it was more like mid to late 2010s, but I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's a perspective thing for when that started becoming irrelevant, but it feels like that kind of person has almost no cultural power anymore.
Also, insufferable thing, honestly, about people who were like young nerds in the 80s is like they have real persecution complexes because everyone was real mean to them back then.
Yeah, I was bullied too. Get over it.
Yeah.
But now they're rich because
the Kevin Smith wave.
Yeah. But I think
Kevin Smith is a slightly different and slightly more recent kind of
nerd
dingus. But yeah, something like that. Honestly,
But
the
you-
Kevin
you don't
Smith
mean-
wave might be what's coming. So look out.
Kylie, no, I think you misunderstood. It's not people who like Kevin Smith. It's Kevin Smith types. That
True,
human,
okay.
that specific human.
True.
But yeah, I agree that it's sort of slightly not the same thing, but it's very close. But like, the
Kevin Smith is
persecution
not an
complex of like,
intellectual nerd.
yeah, the persecution complex of like, I was bullied for being a nerd back when being a nerd meant like, you know, thought that the coolest person was your science teacher who let you watch them do minor electronic stuff after school.
Yeah. Or just the idea that the cultivating a sense of identity around persecution to the
Right.
extent that like no one's allowed to be a nerd if you weren't bullied for it in high school, which is really
But
shitty.
then the problem is that now those are the people who got in before everything went to shit. And so they are now
went
like
to
software engineers who make $200,000 a year or whatever.
Oh yeah, totally. Yes.
And so they're
you and I
and
would be millionaires if we were born 10 years earlier.
yeah.
Honestly.
And so so like there's this like, you know, so they're doing fine financially. You know, they're like the last wave of homeowners.
Yeah, exactly.
But they do have this persecution thing, and then their version of being a nerd is really obnoxious. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of terrible, toxic millennial nerds, but the like late period sort of Gen X nerd, I think, has gained and lost all cultural power within the span of like 7 years.
Amen. And
we're better off for it.
Yeah. So that just brought us to just about the 45-minute mark for our podcast. That mean we're moving on to our game?
It absolutely does. Kylie doesn't know what we're playing, and I
don't know.
hope
It's
that
gonna
this
be a
is a
surprise.
fun surprise.
I love surprises.
Yeah, and do you have the stream open?
Not yet.
Okay, don't open the stream.
By the way,
I'm gonna put it up on the stream and then screen share with you, just so that we can get a clean.
Oh, sorry. When you said stream, I thought you meant screen share.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will open the screen share for you after I reveal it on the stream. So if you have the stream open, pause it now.
I do not. Now, should I be really mean about it, like you are every time I surprise you with something?
I think you should go. I think you should go with your gut. If you want, if you hate this, that's fine. You can tell me.
Oh, here it comes. Oh, there it is. Why would I hate Sonic Adventure 2?
I don't know. That would be weird if you did. If you did hate that.
It would be weird. Yeah. Of course.
This is a fun surprise, right?
Yeah, I like Sonic Adventure 2.
I know that you've been dying to play. You've been dying to do some run button Sonic.
Yeah, I love
years,
I love a run button Sonic.
File select.
How's the volume for you?
Fine. I'm always down.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
For the chat, is it looking bad on the stream?
And
Okay, there we go. This time it's working.
Select.
File select. Ooh, I have a file select.
yeah, do you want to select
Time
that file?
0. No, I'm gonna do new.
That is the same thing.
Story select.
Ooh, I assumed you were gonna go hero, but what do you think?
Of course we're going hero because the start of the dark is boring.
Yeah, you're right. It's 3 Rouge levels, right?
No, it's I think it's 2 Dr. Robotnik levels or something.
And
this
this
is
is
just
so
such
good.
a classic. Such a classic.
Yeah, this is a classic.
I love the idea of just taking out
everyone aboard. That's what they don't show you is that Sonic killed 4 prison guards.
Snap their neck.
Or army men? What do you call someone that's in soldiers?
Well, this is gunmen.
Oh, gunmen. Gun's an army. Gun's is a army thing.
Yeah. It's what does it stand for?
Government under
No, it's like something United Nations. It's like a international something.
Okay. Well, we all know that it's whatever it's called. It's still controlled by the U.S. government.
Oh sure. I mean,
Yeah.
Sonic does talk to the president at some point, so.
I think it's brave that Sega finally admitted that Sonic is a political actor.
This ain't your fucking dad, Sonic. welcome to the last good Sonic game of the first bad Sonic game.
Well, I think this is the last good Sonic game for a long time.
One sec, Keith.
What's wrong? God, this song fucking kicks. This is such a good song. How do I?
Back.
Hi.
Hey, I'm back.
How do I spin dash?
You think you have to stand in place and hold the somersault button.
What does this do?
That's a tire. You can pick it up. You throw it. I literally have no memory of there being a tire you can pick up in this level.
Yeah, I found secret tire.
I basically have a slideshow going on, but
What do you mean?
it's
Oh,
enough
in
that I
terms
can
of
see. Yeah,
that's
but I
strange.
can. It's enough I can follow it.
Okay. I wonder why. I have really good
a-
internet. You shouldn't have a. You should have better than that. Do you have weird internet right now?
I probably have some bad internet. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, not my house.
What the fuck? There we go. You know, I
When was the
understand.
last time you played this game?
What's that?
When was the last time you played this game?
When we let's played it.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wow. Which, for listeners' reference, was 27 years ago.
Yeah, about that.
The most recent 20 of those were March.
Mark's been going on a long time, huh?
Yeah. I think I've told you this a number of times, but my new Christmas tradition. I play this on Christmas morning now, so I played this past two Christmases.
Wow. Well, it would be very. I think it would be bittersweet for me to play this on Christmas. I don't know if you remember my Sonic Adventure 2 story.
I don't remember the details, but I remember there's a thing.
This was like, if I remember.
I think we both had the same thing happen, but we had two very different outcomes.
This is basically the only thing that I asked for the Christmas that it came out, and it got like lost. It was at my grandparents' house, and my grandparents have like a big Christmas thing where like all the grandchildren have presents.
Yeah, in their 30-room mansion where they could like fart and like enough money to buy a new copy of this game would have come out of their ass.
Yeah. Do I have Lightspeed Dash already? There's been a couple obvious
No.
Lightspeed Dash sections.
No, I think you get it. You get it early, but I don't think you have it yet.
Yeah, so it got lost, and I don't know when I ended up. I can't imagine that I went that long without playing it, but I just remember being very disappointed because my mom had told me that it was there, and I spent like all morning just looking for it and couldn't. They just never showed up, and they were like, "Well, it probably just got thrown out. You probably get like taped to someone else's gifts." And
Yeah,
thrown
it
out."
probably got scooped up in like the wrapping paper that was getting thrown out.
Yeah. Hey, it's Big. It's our friend Big the cat.
Yeah, Big was on the side of the road there.
Did your copy get lost too?
No. My thing was I asked our grandmother for this, and because I was a little sneak who would search around, I root around in the house for Christmas presents early to see what I was getting. I looked in and saw that she had actually gotten me Sonic Adventure 1, so I had to go to her and be like, "Listen, I went looking and I found the thing, but you got me the wrong thing. You got to go back and get the right thing." She did.
That's good. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I think I probably had to wait like a week to play the game, which, in retrospect, is fine. As
Yeah,
a kid,
but
it felt
oh.
like the worst thing that's ever happened.
And
to
that
me.
was winter break. That was winter break week.
That
That was a
was winter
murder of
break
a
week.
week to have to
Yeah.
wait for Sonic Adventure 2.
Look what I have.
Look at what you have. Look at this. Can you fucking remember when people gave a shit for raising chows in our Sonic Adventure 2 Let's Play? You gotta shake that egg a little bit.
I was trying to figure out which button was the shake button.
You have to put it down, and when you pick it up, you have to not let go of the button when you pick it up. You have to hold the
Oh,
button
right.
and then use the analog stick at the same time.
Yes, you're
There
right.
it is. Like what a crazy thing.
When you
So
mean
for-
when
for
run
people who don't
button viewers.
This was when we did our Let's Play of Sonic Adventure 2. This was back when we were posting all of our Let's Plays primarily on the Something Awful Let's Play forum. We didn't even have YouTube comments turned on. Like, we didn't have any presence outside of we had a thread on Something Awful. And we were just playing the game like normal, honestly, not a typical run button Let's Play as you know it now, meaning we sucked at the game and took forever to finish it. Like, we were blazing through the game, but we were just also very committed to doing as much chow raising as we could manage, which was not that much, and some people were very upset about it.
Oh, people didn't like it. I thought people did like it.
No, they were like, ugh, the chow stuff is so boring.
Oh.
Can you please not do the chow
Well,
thing?
D-
To the
DVAC
extent
in the
where-
chat is saying raising chows is the most important thing, and DVAC was watching this then. I think DVAC. I'm pretty sure you were watching in real time of Sonic Adventure 2. I could be wrong.
Yeah, GVAC is literally saying, remember when Run Button was ahead of its time in the LP subform and people hated them for
Yeah.
it?
Oh, I do. I will
Yeah, I
never
do.
forget that was true.
Yeah, the chows are the reason for the season, baby.
Yeah.
So
Well-
I actually this was back when I was still making people mad at me by being really combative. So what I did was I passive aggressively spent 2 hours elaborately photoshopping a screenshot of us raising chows, where I explained to them the concept of a timeline and then explained what would make the chow raising go away if they clicked further on the timeline.
Well, I don't think that's your fault for being combative. Something Awful brought that out in people, and it's what it
brought that
asked
out.
of people.
Mm-hmm. I was also bringing a lot of like post Keith and the Girl energy,
Yeah, sure.
like a fuck me, no fuck you.
Yeah. But also, Raising Chows is awesome.
Also,
And
Raising
fuck
Chows
them.
is awesome, and fuck them.
But it's fine. It's actually totally fine that Run Button was ahead of the Let's Play curve and everyone hated us for it, because now we're incredibly popular and everything totally paid off. And we're not exactly as popular as we were back then, but we happen to just have a really good Patreon.
This video tag is boring.
Sorry.
I'm out.
What was that?
Sorry, you reminded me that technically we don't get as many views now as we did back then, and I just dry heaved a little.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Boss time. What's up?
Star Crash says, wait, Run Button is now Keith and the Girl? Very good. Very good.
Ooh, I forget how to fight this thing, but it's probably easy.
It's never been as easy as it should have been. This is not a great boss fight, honestly.
Okay.
It's one of those things, it's one of those things you can hit it at the very top of your arc.
Just wait for it to land, right?
Yeah, there's definitely, like,
Yeah, 'cause you
if you homing attack at, like, the absolute peak of your jump arc, you can get it while it's flying, but it's not that easy. Or you might have to be on one of the wooden boxes.
Oh, one of the boxes. That makes sense. Just bounced off it. I don't know. I don't know if I can get it at the at my even at my peak there on a box. Now all the boxes are gone.
In the chat, Mu Hayo or Mu Hyo says, when I was a kid, my sister yanked out the memory card while it was saving, and I lost my whole Chow garden and all my shiny Chow.
Bigfoot to headquarters.
It's Tooth says, my friend tried to get me into Run Button years ago, and I think the subtext is they couldn't. But now I'm here because of Friends of the Table, and I can't get that friend to listen to Friends of the Table. Time is a flat circle.
Well, I guess the important thing there is that you were wrong and that we're good and that now you watch Run Button.
What?
Yep. It's Tooth is the good one.
It all starts with
Oh my God, who is this?
a jewel containing
Wait,
the ultimate
Who is this guy? Who's this other Sonic?
Chaos Emerald.
It all starts with this. Oh, sorry, I'm
Now you know
behind.
What's going on? The military has mistaken me for the likes of you. So, where do you think you're going with that emerald? Say
Emerald.
anything, you fake hedgehog.
chaos
Oh,
control.
my bad. Wow, the screen share is really choppy.
Here
huh?
comes some very bad dialogue overlapping.
He's fast. Hey, it's not his speed. He must be using the Chaos Emerald to warp.
Shadow.
The fuck is
I'm
that?
the world's ultimate life form.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it must be.
What?
It must be one of those things where they timed everything for the Japanese dub and they couldn't retime it for the English dub.
Right. Yeah, that makes
That
sense.
has to be it.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can get you a slightly better screen share. You ready?
Sure.
Stop sharing my screen. Application window. How's
Oh
that?
yeah, that looks better. Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems better.
Just let it go.
Oh yeah,
You
much
just
better.
don't know when to give up, do you?
What are you talking about? That emerald's
Um,
mine.
Isn't it fucked up that
The Master
Rogue is
Emerald
like now
contains
one of the
special power
original
to
Sonic
neutralize the
characters?
energy of the Chaos Emerald.
You mean just because she's been around for so long?
Yeah.
What? Thief!
Look who's calling who a thief.
Yeah, it's funny how time can make a weird new character invented just for parody between the playstyles
Yeah.
feels like, oh wow, look, it's Rouge. Remember Rouge from back in the day, one of the Sonic Adventure characters?
If I can help it.
I do. So did you... This was something... I don't know if we ever talked about this, but I didn't know this back when we originally Let's Played Adventure 2. People have dug... People have looked at pre-release teasers and dug into game files to see that it seemed like originally you were only going to play as Sonic, Knuckles, and Eggman.
Yeah.
Because that's how like the levels are designated. Like Sonic and Shadow levels are both called Sonic. Knuckles and Rouge levels are both called Knuckles, and Tails and Robotnik levels are both called Eggwalker. And then they think like maybe somewhat late in development they probably just took what levels they had and divvied them up, and that's why like Shadow ended up with so few,
Options.
and Robotnik has a lot of them. Ooh, Monorail.
The game's sound seems a little bit loud, but that's probably fine.
Hell yeah.
I'm terrible at Shadow levels.
Knuckles?
Sorry, yeah, Knuckles levels. See, I can't even say it. There's just something about like moving around as Knuckles that I'm just not very good at. Oh, I'm for it.
Oh! I think it's just sitting out in the open.
Oh, really?
I thought I saw like a green glow. Or it's right there in front of you. Like,
Oh, hey.
there.
It's closer. 2 more left.
Gotcha.
But I think there might also be one sitting out above.
Under the elbow. What does that mean?
Get that key.
I want a rewrite of the script where they're like,
climb
how
up to
come
the
I
top
keep
of
getting
where you are right
teleported to the Chow world?
Can you climb up the wall where you are right now?
This wall here?
Yeah. On that beam right there. Check that beam out for a yeah.
No. I don't
Yeah.
even have a
Oh.
proximity thing.
It was a green shard.
Okay.
But if it was number 3, you wouldn't be getting proximity. You only get one at a time. You can find them out of
Oh.
order, but you only get the location beats in order. That was the difference between 1 and 2. In 1, you just got all of them,
It's closer.
which I like.
Huh.
Must be under the elbow of this statue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hearing it?
See? This is what I'm talking about. Are you seeing this? There we go. I punched it and it worked.
That's fucked. And I heard this somewhere. I heard the guy who did these Knuckles raps still does Sonic raps, like, or I guess Knuckles raps, like, on his own for the love of the game.
Unbelievable.
So we definitely have to look into that.
They gave the right guy the job.
I guess so, yeah.
Maybe this guy was already out there doing Knuckles raps. And so they were like, well, this is the only guy with the resume.
Hell yeah.
Have we seen it be... Oh, there we go. Oh. What do we think? No?
Still waiting on Adventure 3, man.
Yeah, I think we all are at this point. Oh.
You know, I think for a while we weren't. I think since time has gotten away from adventure, what adventure has become more clear. Like, I think there was a little bit of time where people would go like, what does Adventure 3 even mean, as opposed to just some other 3D Sonic game? But I think it's like Knuckles levels, Mech Walker levels, like those 3 things.
You think
I want those back.
You think this includes Mech Walker?
Yeah, because, like, you know, Adventure 1 you had Gamma, Adventure 2 you had Tails and Botnik. I want all of it. Give it.
But 1 didn't have any Egg Walker levels.
It did have Gamma.
Oh, okay, Gamma counts. Okay, you're totally right. I was not thinking of near the ceiling. Oh, so is it below on the ceiling?
Ooh.
And then what do you have to say to me? Circle along the path outside the wall. The path outside the wall.
The path outside the wall. Don't act like you don't get it.
Oh, there we go.
It's closer.
Oh, it keeps moving. That's why I was like, why can't I find this
Oh.
thing? It was moving.
Gotcha.
So for me, what Sonic Adventure means is redefining
Not too
what movement in Sonic games feels like.
Okay.
I think that is the biggest difference between...
Yeah, you don't like new Sonic movement.
I don't like new Sonic movement, and I don't think Sonic works with I don't think Sonic Adventure works with with new Sonic movement.
I don't know that it would.
I don't know that it would.
But
It wouldn't.
wonder,
It certainly
I wonder,
wouldn't feel like Sonic Adventure.
What I want to know is there somebody out there that could do what Sonic Mania did for 2D Sonic for Sonic Adventure, for 3D Sonic? Is that the thing? Do we also just need to get 3D Sonic the fuck away from Sonic Team?
Wait, get it the fuck away from what?
Sonic Team.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that it is not important to me that it says Sonic Team.
No, God no.
Look at that happy face.
Em and
little
Jackson
hackies.
from Abnormal Mapping and the Great Gundam Project, they were fans of Sonic Forces for some reason. But part of their enjoyment of that game was their impression that it was made on an absolute shoestring budget and that Sonic Team, to some extent, was doing the best they could with what they had.
Uh-huh.
And if that's the case, that's really sad that Sonic Sega doesn't want to invest in a Sonic game anymore, because it's like it sounds like some kind of vicious cycle where it's like, was Sonic Team fucking up these games for no reason and now they're getting underfunded, so now they really can't do it right? Or was it the opposite, where they were getting underfunded and that made the games bad, and then because the games were bad, they sold poorly, and then Sega feels like they can't justify the funds anymore? Like, what there's some problem at Sega with this shit that doesn't need to be happening.
Well, and Sega at this point, I don't
Sonic
like...
is not dying of natural causes, is what I'm saying.
Right. Because he's not real.
No, because there's still life. There's still
There's still
life in
life.
his mortal body.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the problems is that we've moved out of the era of mascots. Video games don't have mascots anymore. The only one that still lives is Mario.
But Sonic too, though. I mean, Sonic still, I mean, honestly perplexes people with the extent to which he maintains cultural cachet against all possible odds.
Right. It's the furry quotient.
It's the there maybe the hardcore Sonics are it's just enough of a flame to keep the whole thing alive.
Well, it has this sort of Dragon Ball Z thing where for some reason the people that got into Dragon Ball Z got so into it that they just wanted to draw Dragon Ball Z characters.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Nothing else.
I guess I don't know that
about-
that's true, but it really feels like the people who like draw Sonic only draw Sonic.
I would say the through line between Sonic, I mean, actually, there are a lot of strange similarities between Sonic and Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But one through line
Many of them
is,
intentional.
Is a very attractive, simple, highly emulatable art style.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a very attractive main character, and I was like, you just revealed two
very
things.
attractive characters all around.
Hey, look, it's Tails.
Hey, look, it's Amy.
Hey, look, it's Tails noticing Amy.
What's Amy doing here? Doesn't matter. I have to help Amy because she's in danger.
Such a bummer. Such a bummer that you couldn't be Amy in this game. It's a crime. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's really the only game style that's missing from 1 to 2.
Well, I know that you really like Amy as a character, and you also like the Amy levels, and that's not true because Big the Cat is not in this either.
I would say I have a conflicted relationship with Amy as a character,
Yeah.
but I think Amy is better than no Amy. And
I like Amy in the way that the games that Sonic in general should treat Amy better. Sonic as a franchise and as a character, I guess. But I really didn't like those Amy levels in Adventure 1.
They weren't great,
No.
but it's
Hey, how's that?
again, it doesn't have to be bad. They should make
No.
it good.
No. Well, but I guess this is sort of to your point about like
Wait.
Sega not funding Sonic enough, and so they don't make
Yeah.
good games, and so people don't buy them, and so that they still don't fund it. People don't. I don't think people liked those levels, so I don't think that's where resources are gonna go.
Right, yeah. No, I know why. I know why Amy's not playable in Sonic 2, Sonic Adventure 2. It's just a bummer. But remember that hammer jump? You can't tell me there was nothing there with that goddamn hammer jump.
There's not nothing there. You're right.
Hurry. I know Eggman.
You know what? Also the problem is that if things had shifted, if DLC existed, there would have been like an Amy DLC campaign, and they would have introduced her for
Ooh.
Sonic Adventure 2 Battle or
yeah.
something. For you, does Sonic Adventure 3, does it have, how important is an adventure zone?
Okay. Am I willing to acknowledge a game called Sonic Adventure 3 as a Sonic Adventure game if it does not have adventure feel?
You are,
Yes, I
because
am.
you acknowledge Sonic Adventure 2 as an adventure.
Exactly. If I am in the sole proprietorship of the development direction of Sonic Adventure 3,
And are you?
Absolutely has adventure. And I am.
You are. Oh, so it's happening. We're confirming?
Yep. It might be a little premature. Don't tell anybody I told you, but
And that goes for the listeners as well, and the viewers.
yeah. Be cool about this, please. Don't be a fucking.
Whatever you do, do not be a
Don't
snitch.
be a narc. No one likes a narc.
This game is getting louder and louder.
Really?
Yeah, and also I think you might be getting further from your mic.
No, I don't think so.
No? I think that
but-
this is being mixed pretty poorly.
Well, yeah, we do know that about Sonic Adventure 2, don't we?
That it's mixed poorly?
Yeah. I do seem to remember these types of levels being louder than others.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of clicking and stuff.
Meow, 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 meow. There's a lot of that.
That's better.
Meow, meow, meow.
That's better. Don't say I never did nothing for you. No, not you. I meant the audience.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I was fine.
Yeah. I don't know if they were saying that it was too loud, but it was, and I could tell. Because it was too loud for
we all
me.
know-
Like I could barely hear you.
We've established firmly at this point that they can't. They don't know
can't-
what they're listening to.
Right? They don't. They have no. It's funny that they even like Run Button because they've never heard it. So what? So you play Sonic a lot. What's going on with you? What's your Sonic life like right now?
My Sonic life, there's not much Sonic in my life at this point.
My
But
Sonic
like
life.
I said, last summer I rode shotgun while Phoenix played most of Sonic 3 for the first time, and that was a whole lot of fun. Gave me a whole new perspective on Sonic 3 because I hadn't seen anyone play it for the first time since I did that as a kid. it
And what's
made
the
me-
new? What was the new perspective?
The new perspective is, it's a lot better than I thought. Especially because in my mind, one of its greatest failings was that it wasn't very challenging. But then seeing someone play it who had never played it, it's like, oh, this game is challenging.
You just played it 20 times
I've just played it 20 times
or more.
or more. Who knows? I mean, I don't know that I've like finished it start to finish 20
Yeah.
times, but I've played it.
It's weird to hear you say. You said Sonic. This is Sonic 3 you're talking about. It's weird
think
to
I
hear
just
you
kind
say
of
it gave you a
softened
new
on it.
perspective where it's better than you thought. You love that game.
I do. I love, and now I love it even more than I did.
Wow, almost unbelievable.
But yeah, it's
I thought this game was amazing, but actually, it's really amazing.
well, that's what I mean. Is that I feel like my opinion had softened over the years, where my opinion was like, okay, maybe it's not some kind of like,
Masterpiece.
maybe it's not a masterpiece, but it's definitely very important to me and my life and my video game experience. But I'm like, no, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I'm back on masterpiece. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Get a Sonic and Knuckles, slap a Sonic 3 on there, got it made. Actually, no, just download the ROM Sonic 3 Complete. That's what
Did you see that?
Yes. What is that? What's happening there?
Camera.
Oh, it's the camera.
No, not the camera.
Okay, there's a switch you have to hit.
Yeah. It was that last robot, I guess.
Okay. Paul chiming in with an opinion surprising nobody. No, yeah, Sonic 3 is absolutely a masterpiece.
Wow, I can't believe Paul is contractually obligated to say that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. You can't fool me, Paul.
Can't fool me. Oh, Paul did a nice thing for me.
Oh, wow.
Because I had mentioned, I met up with his partner Alexa when she was in town for PAX, and with her he sent tiny mini Sega Mega Drives that he got out of capsules in Japan.
Ooh.
So I got a very teensy tiny little Sonic and Knuckles, and a teensy tiny Sonic 3, and a teensy tiny
That was a
little
little
Sega,
toy.
and a teensy tiny little Sega
Rank
CD.
D? You're saying I did that worse than a kid?
Yeah.
No way.
Well, no, as a kid, we always got shitty grades on these levels.
Well, I
on
would
all
get like C. I guess I don't know the Egg Walker stuff,
Keep
but
your voice
yeah.
down.
So okay,
Hey,
you got a little
check
teeny
out
tiny Sonic.
check out Amy being highly competent, by the
Amy,
way.
here.
How'd you get
Oh yeah,
I
Amy is
really like
very
that.
competent in Sonic Adventure 2, which is maybe why they couldn't give her a playable character.
I'm trying to ride with
I do like all Sonic's movements in this cutscene. He's like
you could use it.
like
the reason
I don't know if this was
is because of that fake
I don't know if this was performance capture or what, but like I feel like
Did you see it? Where is
not
it
only
now?
are the cutscenes in this light years ahead of Sonic Adventure 1, they're really not bad for their time.
Yeah, there's a lot. Something you notice about older games is that like in-engine cutscenes, which this is,
Mhm.
were really static.
Yeah.
Eggman's
And
got this, huh?
even Sonic Adventure 1, by the standards of Sonic Adventure 1 era, was surprisingly, I guess,
Yeah.
unstatic.
Paul saying these
What's the
that
what?
he thinks the cutscenes were mocapped. They look very mocapped to me.
They do look, but still, they still had to like put that in there.
Oh yeah, it's the mocapping is not like an automatic process. It still takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
To like tweak it to work, especially because these characters don't have normal human proportions.
No, they
You
have
can't
normal
just, like,
hedgehog
totally-
proportions.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, there you yeah.
What did I get?
You got the gold. You got the gold. The gold guy.
Light shoes.
Light shoes.
Light dash to move at light speed along the paths of rings.
Remember when Tikal would tell you about this? Now you can collect rings at light speed.
There's, you know what? There's just something about Sonic Adventure 1 and its
Just
story and its vibe. I
Yes.
just can't. It just is I just can't get over. Like,
No,
it's so good.
there's something there.
There's just something there. I don't know what it is,
No.
but there's something about there's like a weird time travel ghost Echidna Town,
yeah.
and there's the ghost the ancient ghost that tells you about light speed
Dude,
shoes,
I've been saying we gotta replay this shit.
and you know why and do you remember when there could be a big monster and it's not like another big monster?
Yeah. It was like weird. This Sonic game has a big monster in it.
That was not worth it.
What was the thing? Keith, what was I gonna say?
I don't know. I think it's funny that
Oh, I wanted to say, I still, even though the voice acting's terrible, the story is largely stupid and poorly written, but there is still something really effective about the way it is like told with its bizarre like Rashomon style of like the 6 different characters and you complete them asynchronously. It's really cool.
yeah, I'm thinking back to our impressions of Sonic Adventure 1 when we let's played it and coming to terms with the fact that in a lot of ways it's a trash game.
But not all the ways.
But not all the ways. In a lot of ways, it's also
Not
an
all the
awesome
ways.
game.
No problem.
And one of the ways was how effective that sort of six asynchronously played timelines where you can pick which one you do and for how long.
Right.
And
Yeah,
they don't
I
lock you.
love
They don't
the-
go like, okay, you can't play any more Sonic until you do some Big the Cat.
Yeah.
Like you can do it in any order, any way you want, and it works pretty well.
Yeah, like, you know, people complain about Big.
Wait, hold
and
on.
it's like,
You're not even good enough to be
I'll
my
make you eat those.
That sounded retimed. Did you hear that? That
No,
didn't
no, it was bad. On my end, it sounded bad.
Okay. I'll make you eat those words. Maybe it's just saying it so many times it's sped up in my memory. I'll make you eat those words. Oh, this fucking thing.
Maybe it was retimed, but it still wasn't good. If they retimed it, they didn't do a good job of it.
The only downside to that 6-character perspective thing is that there are a couple spots in the story where like most of the characters meet up for something, and having to do those moments 4 different times was a bummer.
Yeah, there's some
There's
some
like-
amount of retreading where you're like, I've been here.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 Chaos 4 fights. There's like at least 3 Chaos 6 fights. And they are at least the Chaos 6 fights are slightly different, but also the different numbers of Chaos are fun. There's so many different forms.
Yes, that was fun, and it,
You know
it
what I
really
mean?
felt like you really felt like Chaos wasn't just a final boss. It was an antagonist.
Yeah.
Like you knew Chaos the entire Chaos was like Cell.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like, oh, Iblis shows up basically to be a final boss.
We did. Don't forget Biblis. Baby
Oh,
Iblis.
no, I won't forget Biblis, but it's different.
It is different. And, I thought it was, back to the multiple character thing. It was really cool when I unlocked Knuckles and then went and played Knuckles' story. And not only do you kind of go back in time to restart the story from Knuckles' perspective, but you see an earlier form of Chaos you hadn't seen before. You see like Chaos 2, which was neat. It was like, oh, I didn't even know that this existed.
Yes.
And also the adventure fields. It's like that was part of what made the adventure fields work a little bit. Is like, did you get stuck on poorly made, stupid adventure puzzles? Yes.
Yes.
But then you get stuck as Sonic. You go play Amy for a little bit.
Right.
Go catch a fish as a big.
Yeah. Versus
Go-
in this, the chance that you just like play the same level as the bad character is pretty high. Like, oh, I'm stuck on this Knuckles level. Let me go play a Rouge level.
It is true.
Too many Knuckles levels in this one.
And when I say go play a big level and don't be a dick about it. Just go catch a fish.
I love big levels.
Jackson from Great Gundam Project said that they weren't able to ever catch Froggy once,
Wow.
which is, I just, though I don't know how long they tried. I have questions. Listen, there remain unanswered questions about anybody's lack of appreciation of Big the Cat, okay?
And the question is, how long did you try to catch Froggy? Why did you not care enough about Froggy to keep
Why
trying?
did you not care enough about Froggy? Keith, when are we gonna replay Sonic Adventure 1? Just give me and the people what they want. Just let us redo Sonic.
I feel like there's got to be some sort of
Extra angle.
there's got to be some sort of extra angle, and there has to be proof that what people want from Run Button is us to redo an old Let's Play.
Here's okay.
And then there has to be some sort of incentive to get over how sad it is that the work that people want us to be doing is just the same thing that we did 10 years ago again.
I'm fine with it.
I'm not fine with it. I think that that's
Listen.
deeply sad.
Listen, if we will forever be the people that played all the Sonic games, can we be the people who played all the Sonic games as 30-year-olds instead of 20-year-olds? Here in the
guess
chat, I
that's
have,
popular.
please do
Might
it.
be possible.
Tell the fans, Keith. Yes, please. Anniversary video for a Sonic anniversary. What? Oh, yeah, okay. It's Ten's nostalgia, Keith. You can't fight it. Yeah, everyone's nostalgia for the Tens now.
Yes!
I did it.
We can play through those 16-bit games. That'll take like 2 minutes. and do Adventure 1 and 2, and that's all we need to do. That's fine.
Barely made it.
Barely made it.
I want to redo Sonic 1 to Sonic Adventure 2, and that's all I care about.
Okay. It's tempting to have redos of those.
It is, especially because they would be fun to redo.
Right.
That was not the part of that Let's Play that was a problem.
How long have we been on Sonic Adventure?
Sonic Adventure 2 today?
Yeah, how long have we been going?
We just got to 45 minutes, and I think that might do it, and that
Yeah.
might be time for me to go.
Do you want to do one chow race?
Oh, yeah.
Let's load up our chow
do we
with,
wanna do
with
one chow
special.
Fuck yeah.
Let's
Remember
get-
the Dreamcast version? It didn't give you the stat bars, so
Oh.
we
Sure, I totally remember. I could
Yeah,
when I saw
we
the stat
printed
bars,
out-
I was like, "Oh my god, stats!"
Yeah. Or like there was also no indication of what these chaos drives even did.
Yeah, I
was
didn't
like,
know.
What the fuck is the point of these?
In some way, it was impossible that they didn't help. Like there was like, "Oh, these help," and I was really like, "Help what? I don't know."
Well, okay, I have Paul in the chat saying, "You hurt me, Kylie. No Mania? No, we don't need to redo Mania. We just did
We just
that.
did Mania. We weren't
Yeah, and it was
idiot
good.
kids when we did Mania.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a hungry one probably. Here, you can have the scraps. Here, eat the scraps. I don't have to take
Paul
the
says
chow in
Mania old now. That was 3 years ago. True. And by the way, Keith, I have to say,
Yeah.
I've spoken to Paul a few times about this. He's done a very good job at pretending not to know anything about whether or not Sega's going to do a Sonic Mania 2. He's done
Good.
a
I mean-
perfect job of pretending not to know. But I can tell. There's cracks.
But I mean,
He says
it's-
he doesn't, and I know he's lying.
I mean, it's probably good that he's lying because I bet his job partially depends on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see in the chat he's saying I'm not contracted anymore. Yeah, it's you know what? The harder you fight for it, the less convincing it is, Paul. I have to be honest.
I mean, is there anything that would convince you that he doesn't know?
No.
There's nothing. Okay, well then I think that shows that you can't be trusted.
I know. I think it shows my certainty. It's how confident I am. Look at our guy, the only. Oh, okay. I thought he was the only one standing, but you can tell he's got.
But
a
we're the
mirror.
only one standing with a happy smile.
Oh, but is he gonna crawl? Oh. Okay. Whoa, take it easy with that stamina, bud. I like what I'm seeing here.
I'm liking it. We're in fourth place.
Uh-oh.
Get out,
I don't
get
like
out.
that.
I don't like this.
Yeah. But you know what? Maybe we'll make it up in the land race.
We are level 2 in run.
You're out of Nos.
Yeah. Ugh, we're really losing it.
Oh boy.
Really losing it. Is there a land race in this one, or is it just?
Oh, I don't know. Why'd you pick it?
It was the
Why'd you do
first one, and it doesn't say. They don't
Dang.
tell you what the race is comprised of.
But it was big and wide, and you should have remembered that was the water.
It wasn't big and wide in the thing.
Oh fuck.
It was just a straight line.
It is very strange that the lowest level swimming animation more just looks like a flailing and potentially drowning.
Yeah, it's drowning forward.
Yeah, I still remember we printed out a GameFAQs fact that listed all the stats of all the Chaos Drives and animals and brought it to that mountain house, that ski house that had all the weird sounds, and that's I think where we finished Sonic Adventure 2 the first time. I don't know.
Ski house?
Yeah, we went on like a family skiing trip, but I don't remember skiing. I only remember playing Sonic Adventure 2 with you, listening to Weird Al, and being scared of the spooky noises in the big house.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Wow. It was at least me and you and your mom, and maybe Kelly. Maybe Casey.
Oh, I guess it was wide.
I accept your apology.
Okay, so the gray is water and the white is... And then probably the dark gray is climbing there.
It's called Crab Pool.
Yeah, fine. Sure, you're right.
All right, do Stump Valley just so we can be sure, and then let's get out of here.
Stumo Valley.
I think it was Stump Valley.
That was an O at the end, I'm pretty sure.
I think the bottom of the P was cut off. Because I remember this, it's full of stumps. It's a valley of stumps.
How do you know it wasn't discovered by Greg Stumo?
These fucking jokers are asleep.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh,
Still no.
really fast.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh, hit the nos.
Oh, I hit it. Why? I guess here's the thing. You should be.
You are
should be
embarrassing us.
You should be able to. You should be able to win something out of the. You should be able to win level 1 of the Chow stuff.
Honestly, one more time.
Oh, was that 2? Was that second
2.
place?
That was 2.
That was 2. That's not bad. That's 2.
That's not
bad.
Placed.
Hey, look.
That's not bad.
There's room for improvement. Our Chow is not a total fucking embarrassment anymore.
No.
But we're not stopping until you're the champ.
Yep.
That's not true. We actually are stopping right now.
Yeah, stopping right now.
Kylie, do you have anything? Do you have anything left to say? Anything else?
No, but keep coming back to youtube.com/runbutton for more Let's Play videos. Come back to our Twitch page, twitch.tv/runbutton for more streams. We already have more Metal Gear, Silent Hill, Digimon World recorded, in addition to some other stuff I can't remember. Halo.
Yeah.
A lot of shit. And some bonus stuff. We have an Ape Escape vid coming.
We
Wait
do.
for it.
You're right. Yeah, there's
Paul-
plenty more
Paul
cabin
wants that.
content.
Paul's gonna want that.
Yeah.
He's gonna want that
Alright.
Ape Escape.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
That's everything. We're just waiting for the end.
This has been the Run Button thing. See you next week.
Bye.